It's Tuesday, October 18th, and 9:45, maybe plus a little bit, and we have the agenda in the minutes of the past meeting, and we have some regular and special sessions, point A and B.
At this time, I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda and the minutes from our October 11th regular session and special session.
Okay. Second. All right, it's been motion and second to approve the agenda and the minutes of the regular scheduled meeting and our special session. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Okay. Old business. Any for the?
I have none.
I have none. All right. I have none either. And I see county engineer is not here.
Well, Tom's sitting in her seat. Maybe he can.
Okay.
Mary was in this morning.
Okay.
So they're blading roads and.
All right.
They haven't gotten the snow equipment out yet.
What, when you said she was in, is she planning to come, or?
No, she's not gonna,
okay.
I think she had a DOT meeting.
Okay. Yeah, for the sake of general discussion, any items to be discussed? I have neither. County engineer, or engineers. Okay. Well, we'll be moving on to county auditor's line items. First one is claims.
Got claims here for your consideration this morning.
Okay.
Motion to approve the claims amongst the bin.
Second.
All right. It's been motioned and second to accept and approve and authorize the chairman's signature on the claims presented this morning. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Payroll line item. Sandy?
Payroll items. Payroll change for Barbara Schmidt in the Sheriff's Department January 1 increased to $39,833 annually. And then the payroll warrant report for the period ending October 8th.
Okay.
At this time, I'll make a motion. Do we have to do a resolution on this, don't we?
That's a current employee as a change, so that can be a motion.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the change for payroll for Barb Schmidt.
Okay.
That's second. I'd like to
Okay.
look at the sheet.
And as you seconded, could I also add the payroll warrant report as of October 8th?
No, not.
Yeah, I don't know why you really want to do that.
Oh, okay.
At this time, I'll make a motion to.
I think there was an error in the, I think it's to resolve an error that was in the payroll resolution that you did.
Okay.
at the beginning of the year. That's
I'll
my
second the
recollection.
motion not to approve the payroll change.
Okay, all right. So let the records reflect, we're working on the payroll change. Barb Smith, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Now we will go on to a payroll warrants report as of the 8th of October.
I'll make a motion that we accept the payroll warrant report
Okay.
presented.
All right.
Second.
All right. So a motion and second to accept and approve the payroll warrant report of October 8th, as of October 8th. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And that'll complete the line items of payroll. Sandy?
Yes.
Drainage.
I have no drainage.
Okay.
Boy, that's unusual. We haven't had drainage for 3 weeks and everybody's in the field.
Yeah.
How about it's been extremely dry?
Yeah, it has been very good.
Okay. All right, moving along to our Veterans Affairs and the General Assistance, there's a resolution to consider for cremation expenses. And I've seen the note on that. Letter.
Rosetta had requested a rewrite of the county's burial ordinance. In the past, we have offered burial expense for indigent Cerro Gordo County residents. This new resolution, that is not offered, only expense for cremation in the amount of $1,000.
Okay.
Motion to approve resolution 2011 number 95.
Okay.
Second resolution 2011 number 95.
Okay. Any discussion? It's okay. with that, the motion and second in favor of resolution number 95 for the county cremation expenses, setting amount. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay. Now we have an Iowa Department of Economic Development block grant. This is to acknowledge the receipt of the Community Development Block Grant Program admittment number 11 to the contract number 08-DRH002.
The total budget remains the same. They're just revising the performance targets and the budget amounts in certain activities. But the total budget remains the same from the last amendment.
And that's associated with, is that NIACOG?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Motion to acknowledge receipt.
Okay.
Second?
All right, it's been motioned and second to acknowledge the receipt of the community block grant through the Iowa Department of Economic Development. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Moving along, authorize the chair to sign the Moody's application and fee schedule for the local government issuers.
Michelle, did you have that?
Yeah.
I have it. Do you have any information? I can tell you that Heather had prepared that. I thought she had sent that to you for board signature.
Mhm.
Because of the refinance of the $9.5 million, the decision was made to get a rating, and Moody's provides that rating, that form is basically to get that level of influence.
Okay. Moody's and Tours. But
Yeah.
we just have Moody's, and we elected to go get a rating, and there's a reason for that.
Last week we met in a special session to look at doing a refinancing of the law enforcement center, and this is the way Heather and what's his name?
Jeff.
Can't think of his name.
Well, Jeff
Heil.
Jeff Heil.
Recommended we do it, and we said to Heather to start doing paperwork, so at this time I'll make a motion to have the chair sign the Moody's application.
I'll second.
All right, so motion and second to accept and authorize the chair to sign this agreement with Moody's application for bonding rating. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And this goes hand in hand, letter F. This is for the bonding issue, and we're talking about the jail out there, and not to exceed $9.5 million general obligation refunding capital loan notes. And with that, we have to set a date for the meeting on the authorization of the loan agreement, and it's to not exceed $9.5 million refunding the capital loan notes.
The meeting will be set for November 15th,
Okay.
10 o'clock.
Okay, I'll make that motion in the form of resolution 2011 number 96.
I'll second resolution 2011 number 96.
Okay, any discussion?
The only comment, Mr. Chairman, is obviously we're trying to take advantages of as many organizations do that have outstanding debt, the record low interest rates, and trying to save long-term interest costs on the jail facility, which I think is only prudent for us to do at this time. It's hard to see rates going much lower than what they are. It's hard to see it. They can't be any lower than this, but it's an opportunity for us to save the taxpayers some money.
All right. With that, it's been motion and second in favor of resolution 96 to set November 15th. Was there a time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock for the loan agreement and issuance of the capital loan notes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, moving along, number 2 under the same line items. This is authorized chair to sign Rule 15C2-12 The certificate for $9.5 million general obligation refunding capital loan notes series. Now, in my estimation, we're gonna retire, pay off one and renew another one at a lower rate that would be the general consensus of that. So,
At this
we're
time-
refinancing if everyone's been through that process.
At this time, I'll make a motion to authorize the chair to sign the certificate.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been motion and second to authorize the chair to sign Rule 15C2-12. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I believe, Mr. Chairman, when it comes to refinancing, Bob doesn't do refinancing, he pays cash.
No? Yeah. Okay, all right. We'll be moving along here, and we have Mr. Bob Lincoln, County Social Services Administrator with us, and you have the floor, and we'll move on here. You can explain the civil referee and why it's the courtroom and hospital setting is nicer and better for everyone concerned. Okay.
You'll have your job about done for the second.
Yes.
Will Keene officially gave notice that he was retiring from the position of hospital referee after over 20 years of service to the community. So we want to certainly extend our appreciation to Will and wish him the best. He's relocating to the Iowa City area. In his place, the chief judge has appointed two individuals that will serve 1/3 and 2/3 time in this same capacity. We're going to reimburse those positions under the existing contract, but we have been able to save $7,000 annually. Previous contract was for $24,000. This new contract will be for $17,500. Those are monies that we take out of the Mental Health and Disability Service Fund to provide the judge or the referee, if you will, on the psychiatric unit. So civil commitments for substance abuse and mental impairment can be held in the presence of the clinical team and the doctors. And that has been a real, we think, a benefit to the clients being served, and keeps folks from having to be transported back and forth to the courthouse. So we'll continue that. We've also talked about making this available to any other county in the region that has a commitment on the unit. And Scott Hand, the administrator for 2nd Judicial District, has indicated that he's willing to move that idea forward, particularly in light of the regional work groups that are going on to move the mental health and disability system to a regional platform, very much like we're in now. Those work groups are finishing up into this month, and that work will be going back to the legislature to propose some rule changes for next year. So I will have a formal agreement for the board probably by the beginning of the year.
And the services that provided for other counties will be reimbursed, you might add.
Yes.
To us. So. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, we reviewed in action on the agreement, so I guess, actually at this time, no.
You can take action to approve this direction, or you can wait and take formal action on the agreement.
Well, I'd so accept the motion to take action to pursue this agreement.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're gonna move you right along here, Bob. We have a 10 o'clock public hearing, so we have review and action on the Public Health Substance Abuse Prevention Grant.
Yeah, what we're asking for there, the Department of Public Health has moved all their contract management onto SharePoint. And although it might create some efficiencies, it certainly creates some barriers in terms of getting folks logged on and permission. So I think to facilitate management of that, I'm asking the board to give me authorization to approve the contract, so I can use my user ID to go on and do that electronically.
Okay.
So if the board is comfortable with that, that would just save having to get you logged on and keeping access to that database.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. The motion and second for the approval of the contract and claims with the Iowa Department of Public Health Department Substance Abuse Prevention Grant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And there's a little disconnect there in the sense that Public Health does substance abuse and DHS is the mental health wing of that. And I know you battled with that, in the past. So.
That's correct.
Anyway, number 3, review and action to authorize the chair to sign memorandum of understanding with Mason City Youth Task Force. Okay?
And that again is just updating that Mason City Youth Task Force is the agency that is the subcontract for substance abuse prevention.
Okay.
So they're just requesting to update their agreement with you with that yearly understanding.
Okay, thanks, Bob. So accept the motion to authorize.
This time I'll make a motion to sign the memorandum of understanding with the Mason City Youth Task Force.
Okay.
Second.
All right, the motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're gonna pop down to letter J. This is a 10 a.m. public hearing. We dealt with it last week in a sequence of events because of the proximity between May City and Clear Lake. Tom, you have the floor, if you will.
Last week, you considered and approved Swift's first subdivision, which is located between Mason City and Clear Lake. A portion of Lot 1 in this northwest corner is currently zoned to M1 Light Industrial. The owners of the property desire to have all of Lot 1 be zoned A1 Agricultural. As near as I can tell, it's been zoned that way since at least 1971, perhaps before that. And so the owners of Lot 1 of this subdivision are requesting the rezoning from M1 to A1. There's no issues with access. Jacqueline Arthur's here representing the Swifts.
Okay, at this time we'll open up the public portion of this hearing.
Good morning, Jacqueline Arthur with the Heine Law Firm on behalf of the Swift family. Tom has summarized it very well, and we did discuss it last week when we were here with the plat and the change of zone on Lot 2. If you have any additional questions, hopefully I can answer them, but just ask that you approve the zone change, please.
I'll speak for myself. I don't. Bob, Jay, any other questions, concerns?
When the rest of the public hearing concludes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Anybody else want to speak on it? If not, I'd so accept a motion to close public portion of this hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
So that leaves us with a resolution to approve or deny the change of zone for the Swiss first subdivision. I think we're leaning towards approval.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move at this time to approve resolution 2011 number 97, the change of zone for the Swift first subdivision. As
Okay.
presented.
All right, okay,
I'll second resolution 2011 number 97.
all right. With that, it's been motion and second for approval of the said zone of, change of zone for the Swift's first subdivision using resolution number 97. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Let's see, we're gonna move back to letter H, aerial photography project for 2012. Now, photogrammetric, would that be the right pronunciation?
That's how I pronounce it.
Okay. But the line item says authorized chair to sign this photogrammetric consulting service agreement with Dan Colburn?
Dan Colburn, I can offer
Yes,
a little bit of
Sandy, if you will.
background. Last Friday was the most recent meeting of the GIS committee, and at that meeting, they had taken under consideration the agreement with Dan Corbin and also an agreement with the ID Associates. Dan Corbin's agreement, it has 3 phases to it. The first phase is, let me back up. The last overall aerial photography that Cerro County had done occurred in 2002. And the plan was that every 10 years, there would be consideration for a reflight, obviously, the changes. So this, the committee had considered then, under that plan, that the spring of 2012 would be the next reflight. Dan Corbin, his services would include in phase 1, assistance with preparing the RFPs for the vendors for the aerial photography. Phase 2 had to do with the placement of targets on monumentation spots that would lead right into phase 3. If I misspeak, help me out, Tom. That leads right into phase 3, which is Dan Corbin's part where he would be testing the accuracy of the aerial photography. Phase 2 is limited a little bit. Dan Corbin will be providing the materials for phase 2, but Yankee Colby has expressed interest, the local vendor, to place the markings, the targets on for the monumentation. And so the agreement with Yankee Colby is for just that part of the original phase 2 section for Dan Corbin. So phase 2 is being done by a local vendor, and Dan Corbin will take care of phase 1 and 3 and provide the materials for phase 2.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Sandy, but a lot of that monumentation is already in place from our 2002 flyover. And so Yankee Colby could essentially be locating that monumentation and then placing some sort of material, a big X or something
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is visible from the air.
It is a big X. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a piece of like plastic or something. And
Yeah, it's
And-
vinyl.
because I've had them up
It's-
close to my place.
It's material that Dan Corbin has had success with in the past.
And correct me if I'm wrong, is this, now initially we started in '02, and then it was explained to me, there's parts of the county, for whatever reason, probably wouldn't have to be refunded, like Clear Lake never changed, you know, the physical, like 3,000 and some. And will they block that out, or is this gonna be a total new flyover, just, you know what I mean, how they said?
I think it's a total new flight.
Yeah.
Okay,
For the whole
to
county.
update.
The whole county.
Every 10 years.
And that was the intent 10
Yep.
years ago, was
Yep.
to,
Right.
but every 10 years we would do a complete flyover. And I believe that it's likely that Mason City will participate
Yes.
in the project as well.
Jesse Goldson is a member of the committee.
They're saying something about X,
Marks the spot.
Mark. There you go.
Okay,
Let me
And the
just,
committee,
Okay.
the committee okays this?
the committee on Friday took action to recommend that the Board of Supervisors consider these 2 agreements. And I can just review the charges for you.
Okay.
Phase
Yes.
1 for Dan Corbin will be $5,100. And then they're anticipating about 6 vendors for the service, and that is in the neighborhood of $2,500 for his review after the bids come in. Then phase 2, Dan Corbin would charge $15 per target, and I can't tell you the exact number of targets because that will be determined by the method. And phase 3 for Dan Corbin is about, almost $17,000. The agreement with Yankee Colby, the actual placement of those targets, ranges from $123 to $108 per target, and that depends on the quantity of targets that the mapping vendor would dictate. So it gets cheaper the higher the number of targets that they would recommend.
As a member of the committee, I think it has a great benefit to have an independent third party preparing the request for proposals, assisting us in evaluating those proposals and helping the committee come to a decision on who to hire to do the flyovers, as well as providing the quality assurance services that are part of Dan's proposed contract.
okay. All right. Well, with that, is there any other questions for Tom or Sandy? You seem to be the gurus on this, and A multitude of departments use this, through the assessors to public health, septics and well locations and of course property line, you know. But anyway, planning is own, yes. But we have I'm willing to accept a motion for the item 1.
I'll make a motion to authorize the chair to sign.
Second.
Okay. It's been motioned and second to authorize the chair to sign the photogrammetric consulting services agreement with Dan Corbin Incorporated. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. With that, following in line, authorize the chair to sign the agreement with Yagi and Colby with their and associates for these professional surveying services to complement the first agreement with just dealt with.
Anything you'd like to add about that?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Yankee agreement, nothing more than what I've already added. They're just going to step in and be the local vendor. They're able to provide that phase 2 at that range. I guess I could add this. I told you $123 up to $108, or down to $108, depending on the number of targets. If there were to be additional services, they did place in their agreement that they would perform those at a maximum rate of $130 per hour.
Okay. Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. The motion and second to authorize the chair to sign this agreement with Yagi Colby Associates for professional surveying services with our GIS photo consulting service. All right, with that, aye. I'll say aye.
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 All right, okay, thank you. Well, it's kind of, Yagi and Colby already got the current records and everything, and they've done this in the past, and it's, there seems to be the genuine one to follow up on these services. All righty, enough said on that subject, right?
Letter
hope
I.
so. We hope
Letter I, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. We are moving ahead. It seems like we're not, but we are. And consider building and grounds committee recommendations. This is to limit the access to our southwest door and to install, I know in this day and age there's concern, heightened concern about security and different things, and we have up on the courts up there. So with that, yes.
There was a vulnerability assessment at the courthouse some time ago. One of the recommendations of coming out of that assessment was limiting the access to the building and having the public come through the front doors only. In fact, it's something that even before this assessment was done has been considered for some time. The reason that this has come up now is that with the remodeling of the former sheriff's office area for the county attorney's office, they're going to have these card readers installed at both their front entrance up in the hallways on the 3rd floor, and then also the back entrance at the southwest door. And so just for economies of scale, it makes sense to go ahead and install the card reader at this point in time at the back door here. Even if it's not immediately activated, which would probably be the case, we will need to distribute the cards for the system, put some sort of protocol in place if the card is lost. One of the benefits of a system like this is that if somebody loses a key, you sometimes have to change all the locks. In this case, you don't have to do that. You just simply deactivate the card, and that particular card becomes inactive and basically worthless. And so we will be talking to departments about how many cards they will need for their departments, who those will be issued to, and distribute those before that door would become locked. But I know there will be inconvenience with it, but security is seldom convenient in order to protect not only our employees, which we have a responsibility to do, but also protect the public that does utilize this building.
But I guess my question, it's a card reader, not a palm reader.
No, we're not using biometrics.
No,
so-
no, I bet the other
Or
one.
photochrometrics.
Okay.
There's no human element involved here.
Right.
Will the card reader not only pertain to entrance, but as well as exit?
No, it'll just be for entrance. Employees in the public will continue to be able to exit out that door.
All right.
I
Are you
make a
worried about
motion.
Are you worried about people losing their card because the supervisors will each have a card?
Say that.
I didn't say that.
I'd make a motion to approve the installation of the card reader.
Okay.
Second.
All right, so motion and second to accept and consider and authorize the recommendations from the Buildings and Grounds for the card reader limited access. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And we'll, of course, make steps to notify the public
Sure.
if and when access becomes restricted.
I have a sign.
Yes. Yep, we will.
All right. Well, we're gonna skip, for those that's got an agenda, we have 2 pages, and it's up to letter K now. Agreements and contracts to consider a proposal from Zimmering Quarry Incorporated for the urban renewal plan for TIF district establishment.
Last week, the board met with Tom Simmering from Simmering Quarry Incorporated about the possibility of establishing an urban renewal area and TIF district with regards to a potential development project involving red power between Mason City and Clear Lake. It requested some incentives, and one of the ways, or one of the mechanisms to fund those incentives is to establish a tax increment finance of the district that would include the improvements that they propose to make. We looked at some potential boundaries, and we have been working on how that area can be defined. Sandy's had an opportunity to review that and respond to it, as has Mr. Simmering. His proposal is for a cost between $1,500 and $2,000 to prepare the urban renewal plan. That will include assisting us with not only preparation of the plan, but defining the area, meeting with the affected taxing entities as we're required to do under state law, as well as any other document preparation that's necessary. We'll also have some legal expenses with regards to preparation of a development agreement with Red Power. But I believe there was consensus at the end of your meeting with Mr. Simmering last week that this is a good opportunity to proceed not only with the incentives for Red Power, but also potentially do some other things with the additional tax value that's generated on the property within that district.
I think that's well put, Tom. That's something we've been looking to do for a long time. It's in absolutely in perfect location. It's in Lake Township, so it's right between Bay City and Clear Lake. Surrounding properties to Red Power offer the opportunity for in the future for development. Plus, there's additional county property that's owned their farmland, which is cash rented right now. But that also has the opportunity for development in the future. So I think what it does, it puts us in a good position to move forward when the opportunity presents itself. So I'm glad we've taken the time to hear from Mr. Simmering and to consider the plan, because I think it's something that aids the county in development in the future, and I'm sure it'll be well supported.
And I agree with Jay, and it was really kind of an interesting meeting last week to see how we do, how we can do it and how it works and stuff, because some of these things get rather complicated. And I think Tom is going to be a good one, especially since he lives in Clear Lake, to help us with that. And, I agree, I think it's time to do something like this, and Red Flower out there was a good starting point.
Because we're blazing sort of a new trail for the county, I think it's important for us to have
Exactly.
good advice with an entity that has gone through this before. And certainly, Simmering and Corey has experience with developing these, and they work closely with the attorney with the Oliver's Law Firm, who will be putting together the development agreement.
And I'll just add that area is garnished some attention, and I like to think we're being proactive instead of reacting to it, so we're, if you will, got a contingency plan in place for future development. So with that, I so accept a motion.
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to accept the proposal as presented.
All right.
Second.
Okay, it's been motion and second to consider and accept a proposal from Zimmerine and Corey in reference to a TIF district establishment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And Tom, you're gonna wear out your welcome, but you won't.
I probably already have.
Okay. Is agreement with the code red weather warning system and additional enhancements that come with it, I understand?
Yeah, we had discussed at a previous meeting and went ahead and approved the contract with Emergency Communications Network to enhance our code red services from the basic service that we have right now to a weather warning service, which residents can opt into, and if they so opt in, they will automatically receive notification of tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, and flood warnings. That does require, due to the dividing of costs between Cerro Gordo County and the cities of Mason City and Clear Lake, an addendum to the 2080 agreement that we originally entered into in 2009 regarding the basic code red services. And so this will simply be an addendum to it. I've talked with both cities have had an opportunity to review it, or their city administrators and other staff have, and we're ready to move forward with that. So you will be the first party to consider the 2080. My understanding is it will be on Mason City's agenda on November 1st. I have not been notified when it will be on Clear Lake's agenda, but I'll get the copies running for their signatures, and we'll get it recorded and sent down to the Secretary of State's office.
So at this point, Tom, you admit to ordering the code red?
I did order the code red.
Okay.
Can you handle the truth?
Not being on the 911 board, I know all the public safety organizations are backing this, of course, sheriffs, police, fire, kind of goes along with their line of business. So anyway, I will accept a motion for the first addendum. This is the first one. We've had a 2080 agreement in place, so this is, and there may be more in the future as these enhancements come up, or who knows?
Could be.
So moved.
All right, second. The motion and second to consider the agreement code red for weather warning system. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Well, we're moving along. Appointments. I have none at this time.
No.
No?
Okay. Correspondence and communication, any?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. I'm willing to accept a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Say, who
Thanks,
did-
Bob.
West of the
Thank you.
cemetery.